Hello and greetings, my tarot friends. I am here to do the November 2025 reading and guidance from our deep unconscious, the collective unconscious. Guidance for November 2025. I'm smiling because my dear beloved is doing some home improvements downstairs, which involves a nail gun. I'm kind of going to do this already. Here comes one. Just so you can hear. I think it's quite interesting for the times and the energy to hear a nail gun. It's quite something. So, I've shuffled the cards, and actually, my there you go. My Rider Waite wanted to be used today, right? I reached for my Mythic Tarot, and my Rider Waite went, meh. You haven't used us for ages, which I haven't, in fact. This deck has got reversals in it, and actually, as I was shuffling for the collective unconscious, November 2025, let's have some good guidance and let's see what's coming up. What are we all contributing to the massive wave of energy to this world at the moment? What are we personally contributing with our thoughts and our actions and our belief systems? It's massive, isn't it, the belief systems? So here we go. I've shuffled them. Here's the lookout for November 2025, okay? So, well, that's a nice start. Here we have the Star. Actually, this is interesting because recently I did the Mythic Tarot deck Star, which is all about Pandora's box and the Star of Hope. And this is again the fantastic naked figure, you know, nothing to hide. Here she is with one foot in the unconscious, one foot on the land. The star message is always that, to shine, to be the light, to be the brightness. And often with the star, it's like, okay, is it about you shining for someone? Is it about shining yourself? Is it about just being a beacon of light, just being there and, you know, being like a lighthouse for people, just being authentic, just being you? And of course, it's often related to wishes manifesting, dreams manifesting. So that's a nice start, isn't it? Keep those dreams and those manifestations at the forefront of your mind. I really think at the moment it's really, really important not to be distracted by news, bad news, things that again affect the immunity, that they lower the immune system, all this bad negative news. Do your own research, as I always say, do your own research and find out what the actual truth is, because obviously the media don't tell the truth about most things. And there's so many beautiful things going on in the world, so many people doing so much wonderful stuff, so keep your eyes on that kind of thing, I would say. Why does that have to happen? Look at this crossing card. Why does it have to happen? Why can't we have like something else? But we can't because we're learning, okay? So the crossing card, the Three of Swords. And we know what the Three of Swords is. It's pain, sorrow, it's kind of worry, it is having to go through some you know, it's the bursting of the boil, it's the lancing of something that's come to a head. Now, I know that people say that it can be love affairs, but I actually don't always buy into that just because it's a heart. You know, it can be heart, love of self. You know, you have a bit of a setback, you know, you're trying to be the star and then something sets you back. It can be the love of self, it can be the love of the earth, it can be the love of a belief, the love of an ideal that's actually coming in for a little bit of challenge, a little bit of conflict, okay? So, but that's okay, you know, conflict makes us grow. Obviously, we don't want too much and be overwhelmed with it all, but conflict is something that you just have to get your teeth into and learn from, isn't it? So we have the significator, the star, and then the bridge or the obstacle is the Three of Swords, okay? Shouldn't really be an obstacle. The Three of Swords can be used as a bridge because it brings up stuff for healing in you and in the situation, and maybe in what you're feeling, what you're believing, what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, okay? A spiritual kind of notion, or a practice, like I say, you get the idea. What's the overarching card? Oh, well, that's nice. That kind of makes up for it. The beautiful enigmatic high priestess. You know, she sits in her on her beautiful throne with her foot on the moon, the intuition, and she's between the pillars of Boab and Rahim, the you know, in Kabbalah, the pillars of mercy and severity. She sits there with that pomegranate richness behind her and the scroll in her hand. It's an enigma. She knows something, but she's kind of not telling. It's a mystery, and it's often a kind of, it's you know, obviously being a high priestess, there's been decades of learning, of wisdom. There's something. So this month, November, we start with a star. Then we've got the kind of, you know, the test, the stepping stone of the Three of Swords. And then we've got the high priestess raining her wisdom, saying, don't lose it, just keep it together, go with the intuition, go with that kind of unconscious knowing. You know, it's a mystery. I always think the high priestess, she's wise, but she doesn't blurt everything out. You know, she's aware of something, she knows something, she feels it in her bones, in her waters, in her fluidity. Okay, so that is a lovely card. What's at the base of November? Oh, well, that's also nice. A Six of Cups, all very jolly. Okay, so here we have the Six of Cups, the basis of this. So things are looking great, things are looking positive, things are looking hopeful. Obviously I'm thinking of the Mythic Tarot, the Six, I'm sure, is where Psyche is sitting on a rock, and it's a card of nostalgia, and it can be a card where things of the past come into the present to help you. It was really interesting. I was listening to a very interesting conversation that Rick Levine did. He was being interviewed by Amrit Sandhu, and basically it was all about how the present moment can affect the past, and how the past can affect obviously the future, but it was all this kind of time stuff, because when you actually are in this present moment, how you can go back and obviously heal and do stuff and change things and change perspective on things. So that's nice. November, it kind of is a happy, jolly, cups full of flowers, people looking fantastic, going, yes, we're having a lovely time here, this is all very nice, there's something lovely to kind of celebrate, there's something nice to be had. And again, this whole idea of something from the past, and again, something from the past coming into the present can be, again, it can be something that you used to practice, or it can be people that you know, or it can be a remembrance of something that was really useful, that kept you on a spiritual path, or kept you on a sane path, or just kept you in the job that you wanted, or, you know, something about seeing something in a family that you promised to do or not to do it within your own family, bringing up kids. I had a right experience yesterday. I could make a whole video about this itself, and think I might actually. So I won't say it now. It's about bringing up kids and you know, how people are these days. Okay, what's in the past? Let's look at November. The past is King of Wands. Okay, that's lovely. Here he is with his kind of ideas, his motivation, his drive. So maybe in November, something that you've driven towards, something that you put a lot of time and effort into, might be kind of you know, coming up with some nice fruits, or contacts and networks. That was meant to be, came up as context. Maybe it is context. What's in the future? Let's have a look for November. Queen of Swords. Okay, that's a nice authority again. Queen of Swords. Wit, intellect. Look, I didn't even show you the King of Wands, did I? Here you go. King of Wands in the past, and the Queen of Swords in the future. Intellect. Again, it's a feminine energy, feminine intuition, but with the Queen of Swords, it's not truly intuitive. It is like facts, intellect, knowing what you're talking about, doing the proper research, knowing the answers, not being fluffy, not going around the wreaking, not stepping on eggshells, not kind of suggesting things or trying to go, oh, well, maybe this or what about that. It's like, it's saying it, doing it, being it. It is strong, it's powerful, it's the element of air. It's using the air element, the mind element, and the communicative element. I think communication at the moment is one of the biggest things we have to really embrace, especially with this Uranus opposite Mercury and the whole, Uranus with its retrograde, and it's the whole kind of communicate, talk about stuff, talk about things, talk about emotions, talk about, you're not happy at your job, or there's things going on in your marriage, or, talk about your aspirations, your dreams, talk about how you don't want things to be, have meetings with people and just kind of express yourself, let it flow. Where do we find ourselves this month? We find ourselves with the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, how lovely is that? Hey. The Knight of Pentacles is that lovely, stable, in the Mythic Tarot, it is, I want to say it's Aristeas. I think it is Aristeas, and it's that, no, it's not Aristeas, that's the page, it'll come to me. But, it's this bringing the knightly pentacle, bringing earthiness, bringing tangible fruits of the labor. Okay, it is bringing it can be money, materialistic stuff, but it can be the body. It's stability, noble stability. Oh, I hope you can cope with the nail gun going off. Let's have a listen. Okay, so yeah, where we find ourselves in a position of stability, of wanting to bring our what we have to the party. It's this kind of just balancing money, finances, what you've got, bringing what you've got to yourself. Sitting down, doing work on what is, what is happening at the moment. Here he is on his black horse with all his armour on. It's earthiness, body health, financial health, stability, security. So that's a nice place that we find ourselves, because this deck, I've just kind of turned it and now I don't know which way I've turned it. Goodness. Oh dear. Okay. How do other people see us? Queen of Wands. Another queen. That's okay. So we've got a king and two queens now. Queen of Wands with her cat at her feet. Another person of fiery drive, fiery ambition, and that kind of, again, acuity of how to get things done business-wise and life-wise, bravery, courage, and not afraid, again, to act and carve a path out, carve a path of that kind of pioneering path. Not afraid to lead. So it's interesting that this is in a position of how people see us. Not afraid to lead, not afraid to call it as it is, not afraid to make decisions. It's an authority figure, it's a queen. What's our hopes and fears for November? Okay, well, it's definitely a hope, isn't it? The 10 of Pentacles, everything coming up roses, feeling spiritually full, emotionally satisfied, feeling loved, feeling secure, feeling creatively on the ball, feeling like everything is working out, throwing your arms up in the air because it's a month of something to celebrate again, something to be grateful and joyful for, which is very nice. And what's the outcome? Okay. So the outcome is the Ace of Cups. Well, Well, that's not a bad month, is it? That's quite a nice little month. You just got, okay, let's just do the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups, the uprush of water. It's the element of water. So you've got the Ten of Cups, and then you've got the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups, that beautiful divine hand with the dove, and I see it as a cross of the equal arm cross, one of the oldest protection symbols in the history of protection symbols. So this hand coming out, this beautiful ever kind of spouting well of divine fluid, but it's light, it's creativity, it's emotion. Again, the Ace is always the uprush. The Ace is the starting point. It's just like, it's this kind of wave of understanding. So it's a wave of water. What does water do? Water is so variable. It can be like a trickle. It can be a drip from a tap. It can be a tsunami. It can be mist. Water is very changeable. So I would say in November, be changeable, be flexible. Okay? You've got these two queens, you've got a king, you've got the Ten of Cups, you've got the stability here of the Knight of Cups, okay? So you've got this fantastic range of elements. So we've got Earth in the Knight of Pentacles, we've got Air, Queen of Swords, the Three of Swords, we've got the Six of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and we haven't therefore we've got Fire in the Wands. Yes, okay, we've got Fire in the Wands. Oh, it's all there. Okay, the cup runneth over. There's lots of energy, there's lots of potential, there's lots of ability to do things during November. Okay, it's just this. Don't let this basically take you off track. Make sure that we have challenges. We have the King and the Queen here opposite each other. This is the past, this is the future. We have this kind of use your noddle, use your mind, use your intellect, use your wisdom. Do your research. Doesn't matter what it's on. If you're joining a gym, do your research. Find out, look at all the little kind of, the small print. Do your research if you're buying a car or you're, starting a new course. Do your research. Find out all about it, okay? Be active. This is the King of Wands, the active, the drive, and then here you've got the Queen of Wands. This is how people see us: active, assertive, leading, fearless. It's fire is fearless, just getting on with it. And if you do face your fears, as the book says, and do it anyway, you get to this beautiful Ten of Cups situation, which is where, let's face it, most of us want to be. And then you've got that Ace at the end. So the big well, the infinite pool that you can draw from. I think it's so important at the moment for us to ramp up the spirituality, ramp up that understanding there is an infinite well. Again, don't believe what you're told on the propaganda channels that affect your mind. Nature is the infinite well. Nature is the where it's at, being in and around the birds and the plants, and honoring it all, honoring Mother Earth. Okay, so this is the significator, the star, and then this is the overarching card. It's a powerful reading to have the High Priestess, the star, these lovely the Ace of Cups. It's like and all of this royalty, the King and the Queen. Okay, what are you going to do with this energy? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to celebrate this? And allow this wave of creativity, this wave of emotion, mixed in with the intellect, the intelligence, the communicative ways of being, the star, to be the star, to shine. Stop being dimmed by everything that goes on in the world and around. I mean, the reason I'm doing this reading now is I've got something to do a bit later. so I have to do this now. So I will to say, I always find it funny. It's like the stuff like a nail gun going off. It's a reminder, isn't it? It's like this. It's like, it's not all perfect. There you go. You've got nail guns going off, and it's going to be life. And then you've got this. You've got this beautiful Ace of Cups going. The well is infinite. Don't believe it's like so contracted and scarce. You know, there's all this kind of criminal activity going on in the government. You know, they're all I shouldn't say they're all criminals, because I don't want someone coming to me, but there's a lot of criminal activity going on. Let's say that. We all know that. So let's be the opposite. Let's be everything that they are not. You know, let's be honest, full of integrity, doing good things, joining together, standing up, saying no or saying yes, and just being heard, okay? That's very the Queen of Swords, all right? And then you feel good about yourself, you feel good about life. When you're walking the path of self-love, you do feel good about yourself. You like who you are. You like how you react to people. You like that you stick to your truth. You like that you stand up for stuff. You like that you're well informed, okay? So November looks lovely. I mean, there's a lot happening. It's All Saints' Day today, All Souls' Day tomorrow. So, you know, walk with your ancestors. Remember what they did in order for you to be in this beautiful place. And really enjoy the month. I've got Rufus now wanting attention. Got all the birds in the trees, all getting very frisky this time of year. All very nice, lovely springtime, obviously here in the Southern Hemisphere. So have a fantastic November. Let it all come. Be this strong character. I've said it all anyway. I don't need to go over it all again. Let this lovely, this. You see how in the cups you've got these flowers and you've got growth. Let yourself grow. Let yourself start being the person you want to be. Really admiring yourself, respecting yourself, and letting that kind of just kind of ooze out of you like lovely sparkles, blessing everyone that you come into contact with. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. I shall be back soon, maybe with some astrology, and obviously carrying on with my Mythic Tarot deck and talking about the meanings of those cards. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful month, and I will be seeing you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.